In this video, I want to show you how you can save 15 hours per week automating product personalization, specifically with product ready configurators. If you're spending countless of hours in managing your customer request for the custom product and going back and forth, well, we all know that pain. So I'm going to show you in this video how you can automate all this process with 3D product configurator. So stay here and watch this video. I'm Antonio Furioso, founder of IDEX, and I help e-commerce implement 3D configurators and augmented reality for their business. Now, let's start from the basics and let's see how usual is like a process of personalization for a 3D for a configuration. So usually, customers visualize your product that you can personalize maybe with the name or adding their logo, whatever. But this is like once this like is not interactive at all, and this process can be very time consuming because, for example, here I cannot yes, I can add my logo, it says here, but I don't know where, and so it's also confusing for customers. Or when you have like also a request for a personalization or request for a quote button, well, you receive the email and then your team have to handle maybe a render if the product can be personalized, and then you have to wait the answer for the client, if it's yes, if it's a no, if you have to edit, and this is like spending a lot of times. So I want to show you instead how you can automate all this process with 3D product configurators. And let's start from the basics. So like a 3D product configurators is simple like a render in 3D of your product, and your customers can personalize it without getting in contact with you. Only when they will order, this will happen. So let's see. An example of 3D product configurators is this one, where customers have like the 3D model here, where they can see your product from every angle, and then they can personalize. So for example, in this case, they can personalize the dimensions, they can personalize the colors, they can add even their logo to this table. And how it works, like they choose like the dimension, they choose, then it can be the width of the table, how many seats, if you want pillow on the table, and then you choose the color of the table. And this is a completely customization process that do not require your time. So now that you see what is a 3D configurator, I want to explain like what are the benefits on using a 3D configurator to automate all this process. So first benefit, of course, that we see is like this increase conversion. Customer product configurator increase conversion because customers interact more with your product. Interacting more with your product, this brings more conversion because they are viewing your product, how it is, and what they will get. So, and this brings us directly to the second benefit, which reduce returns. Here, product 3D product configurator reduce returns because again, your customers view what they are getting, what they are personalizing. Like I see a lot of websites today that they have the static image. I want to show you. So I've seen a lot of websites today that have their product page. They have their static image here, or the gallery, and then here they have like their drop down. They choose of the color of the product, other option, their add-on, no. But when you select these like colors, this add-on, the image one do not change. So I cannot see effectively what I'm adding to my product that I want to buy from you, no? And second, I cannot interact. And that's the worst experience. So that's why these reduced returns. Third, you are getting higher average order values because again, customers spend, studies show that customers spend at least 20% of the time more when they are configuring their own product, and because they're putting more like intention in doing it. So again, this is like a domino effect, and then it will impact on your conversion. Another benefit also is better customer experience. Like, let's see again, you have this experience with a 3D configurator instead of this experience with a 2D configuration, 2D configuration that you cannot even sometimes personalize, because for example here I cannot add my logos also if I selected the personalization headset. So it's completely different experience, and this is a better again because customers that do not see that often, and when they see it, they spend a lot of time, and your customer experience will only benefit from it. And a final benefit instead that I want to talk about is that this is a 24/7 customization. Like, this is very important. Imagine that your customers are like at 1 a.m. in the morning personalizing your product. They send a request to you, but there is no one there sending a quote back to the customers, or maybe with a render. I imagine even this if it's during the weekend where like your employee do not work, and like that's the worst case scenario. So they have to wait 3 days. Well, guess what? You lost your customer because like it's too long the time that it passed from when they are getting when they're personalizing your product since when they're getting a reply. They forgot about you. So that's why 3D product configurators works best for you and works 24/7. Like they just personalize it directly in your configurator, personalizing your product, and then what happened? They just click the button to order your product that they personalize. So once you receive, also if it's a weekend, you receive the order, and then on Monday you are ready to ship because you know what they already wanted. So how you can implement a 3D configurator now? To implement a 3D configurator, first of all, what I advise all the times, like start small. So start from your best seller product. That of course they can be customized. So if you have a table, if you have a standing desk, if you have some shoes, some hat, everything that can be customized, you can implement a 3D product configurators. And what I advise is like do it on your bestseller or on your most viewed product, and implement that. Second, choose the right technology. The right technology is important because there are software out there that allow you to do some things that other cannot do. For example, if your customers want to upload their image and their text, well, you're most likely to have already the printable files directly from the software, because this is like make even faster the personalization process when you have to like make it and ship. So choose the right technology. Create then your 3D models, because of course 3D product configurators need a 3D models, and the most accurate is the 3D model, the better it is, because this will avoid returns. And then of course, once you have the 3D model, set your configurator. So I don't know, if it's a table, again, set the height, the width, the length. If it's a hat, you can set colors, add on to the hat, logos, text, and so on. Then, of course, test it before to publish, see if it's everything is working, and then publish it and promote it on your social media, email, like communicate outside that now you have this new feature where your customers can customize your product directly and order your product. So this maybe will incentivize them to come to your website and try this personalization process. So this is why you should implement a 3D product configurators. My customers save 80% of their time during the week for back and forth with customers for a t-shirt, a jersey that they wanted personalized. So like that's incredible, and it's a lot of time spent with back and forth and if some edits was wrong, etc. So this is like the benefit again, increase conversion, reduce returns, higher average order value, better customer experience, and it works 24/7. That's the most important. And then if you want to implement, well, we can work together or like you can do on your own. Any case, if you want to do it on your own, you would maybe watch this video here.